Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, welcome to a Gamer Encounters of Endzone, a world apart. This is a survival city builder thing, which is a post-apocalyptic world and is a lot like surviving the aftermath. And I want to find out today what the differences and similarities are. So let's go ahead and encounter Endzone, a world apart.
Humanity survived. Our ancestors have destroyed the world, and we had to pay the price. With over 100 years without sunlight, but we have prepared ourselves for our chance to make things right. They stole from us a life of happiness. Still, we will make the best of it. Even though Mother Earth is grim and tainted, we have managed to survive. And we will keep surviving.
Oh, that's an intro, huh? I like the intro. Voice acting in this game is pretty good. It's pretty good. But also, before we get started, let's have a quick look at the options menu. Decent settings. This is all in early access right now, so it's version 0.7, I think it is, that we're playing. And, okay, borderless window, all of this, great. Separate audio sliders, which is really nice. This is all... yeah, it's really nice to have. I'm gonna boost up voices so the in-game voices are good. Play audio feedback on unnatural deaths, all deaths. Just unnatural deaths, I think. People, if someone dies normally, I think we can live with it. Some accessibility options here besides the separate audio sliders. We've got color schemes that can be chosen. 1 and 2. 2, yeah, I think it mitigates some color blindness, but I'm not entirely sure if it mitigates all of it. Red, blue could be an issue here. Red, green could be an issue here. So I'm not sure if that fully solves the color blindness issue, but it's nice that there are some color schemes already. Rebindable controls, always nice. Okay, good. This clearly is early access, and they are currently working on a bunch of stuff. Currently they're working on trade and barter, but I think just the leadership update is in. It's been going for a few months now, which is nice. But I have not played this game before. So we're gonna have to click on New Game and play the tutorial. Now, usually I play the tutorial before I jump in to check out a game, but I loaded up the tutorial and there was some pretty nice voice acting. So let's jump into this. Follow Arthur Sauchin's instructions and obtain important clues and useful information about survival in the merciless world of Endzone, a world apart. Let's learn how to play the game. So, this being like surviving the aftermath or not, we're gonna find that out today, and it's probably hard to choose between the two if you've not tried them both, so hopefully we'll find out.
We finally left the Endzone. Just look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous. Even though it's a bit different from what we had pictured, we were able to secure a few basic resources and are storing them in our bus.
Okay. Also,
I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the Endzone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time.
great. Also, I'm just gonna max voices. Let's do it! Alright, open the survival guide. We've opened the survival guide. Okay, so this is where it just shows everything. Tasks, freely available settlers, gathering wood, all of that. Construct buildings, professions. I hope it brings me through this.
Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us to at last build ourselves a new home here.
Got it.
Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them.
Okay. So we have to open the professions menu and assign settlers to builders.
All right. Your builders will be ready as soon as construction contracts have been issued. It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need: water.
Water. Understood.
The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town center.
Place and build a jetty by a lake. So, buildings and tasks, jetty. We just have to... Oh, okay. It needs to be rotated like this. Jetty built 0 out of 1. So we just need to go ahead and build the jetty. So we have this bus wreck, which I guess is our starting home base. Something we scavenge. Right, this is how it works in Surviving the Aftermath as well. You start with like a rundown vehicle or something, and you're basically, it's the temporary warehouse and resource supply. Let's speed up the game here. And we can watch the jetty get built.
Very good. The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method.
Got it.
We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source, so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
Okay, cistern should be close proximity to water source. So we have to build a cistern. Should it be right across? Sure, let's do that. Assign settlers of the profession water carriers. So professions here, water carriers 1, 2, 3. And then we have to produce water. Okay, understood. All going nice. So let's make sure we're not blocking anything here. There we go. You guys don't need to see the speed controls. So the cistern's being built. Is that rain? The rain animation was quite flickery. So there's a day-night cycle. There's still a lot of UI I haven't fully understood. These are all our resources up here. We've got 13 adults, 6 children, knowledge, so there's a research thing. Discontentment, even-temperedness, and contentedness. No one's happy in the post-apocalypse. Average health of all settlers, rich food, number of different types of food.
Great. We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider hiring more water carriers if you don't have enough settlers available. You can never have enough water in storage.
Understood.
Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake.
Okay. Also, yeah, the rain was flickery because we were on a faster speed, but look at this. This looks really nice. It looks like the rain is hitting the building. Isn't that a nice touch? Do you see the grass? It looks wet. The grass looks wet. That's a nice touch. And the grass is surprisingly lush as well. Right, you see the little water droplets hitting the bus? It's not hitting the people as well, is it? I don't know. This is a nice looking game. It's a nice looking game. I know it's all like run down and garbage buildings, but it's a nice looking game. A little flickery on the foliage, but lots of nice details, I guess. Right? Look at this. Even max zoom, not bad. Alright, so we have to build a fishing hut. Buildings. So it'll be under food, fishing hut. We just stick it like this. Yeah, I think we do this. It's gotta be there. Okay, fishing hut will be built. And then we have to assign settlers to the profession of fisher. 2. Okay, we're running out of adults here. And then we just have to produce food. Okay, let's get this built. Could use more saturation, but that's just your preference, Grumpy Snarker. I know, it is a post-apocalypse, isn't it? Like, it's always hard to get the post-apocalypse looking correct, right? Oh, there we go. They're fishing away. Nice. Do these guys have names? Eva. Oh, we can rename people? Alright. This is streamer ready. You can rename people. Yeah, it's nice. I like the rain. I actually really like the rain. Oh, look, we've got a second type of food. So our rich food goes between 1 and 2 right now. What are we eating? Does it say? Food. I'm not sure if it shows what types of food. Can I see workforce inventory of the bus? We've got beans. We're eating beans. So now it's beans and fish. And we have to produce 50 food, then it gives us 300 fish here. Okay.
Good work. We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out.
This guy's voice is really nice. Got it.
Crops are another excellent way of getting food because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can be right away.
Understood. Cultivate a field. Show soil moisture. Oh, the rain actually expands the soil moisture. Oh. Oh, I see. Look at that. Interesting. Okay, cultivate a field. Is that under... Yep. We should keep this near here, I guess. How big does this have to be? Let's do a small field. Let's do that. Is there radiation issues there? Okay, there's radiation issues. I don't want to irradiate my food. They haven't shown me where the demolish button is. How do I get rid of it? Oh well, some irradiated food. It's fine. It's fine. Assign To farmers. Just one? Just one. Seeds from fields chosen. We have to pick seeds. Choose seed. Squash. Can we do squash?
Looks good. Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain. Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on.
Understood.
At the beginning, we don't have much scrap, wood, or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away. Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Let's do it. Free settlers available, 5 out of 3. Place a gather wood task, gather scrap task. Okay. Where's the button? Tasks. Notification? Homeless settlers? Yeah, okay, that's fine. How do I... Is it showing professions, production limits, resources, statistics, buildings? How do I assign a task? Oh, it's under buildings and tasks. Okay. I guess go ahead and gather that wood. Go ahead and gather that scrap. There we go. Produce those things. So it seems like they cleaned up the radiation, which is coming from... It's green, so I guess it's not that bad, right? Seems like it gets worse. Yeah, we have 19 homeless. Should we be building houses? Let's follow the tutorial. Yeah, this stuff comes in pretty quick. Sometimes in these survival games, you know, you set these things and it can take a long time to get what you need. Look, we've already at 32 wood.
Since we now own plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on.
Got it.
Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more effective at the same time. Foresters are not only able to chop down trees, they reforest areas with trees as well.
Okay. Build a forester's lodge, which should be resources, forester's lodge. Let's rotate it around this way. We'll have it over there. And then we have to assign the profession. I like how this glows red when something's missing. Build next. Gives this building highest priority. Okay, very good. Workforce, yeah. How do you set its work area? We'll wait for it to be built, I think. Yeah, I think we've got everything. 24 wood. Yeah, we should have 24 wood. 37 scrap. Fishing, continuing. Good. Water gathering. How much water? So the water tank fill level is full. 2,000. So one cistern is holding 2,000 water. Production limit is 90,000. All right.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. Ah, and for your information, if you want, you can also tell your forester's lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest which generations to come can use.
Understood.
Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the scrap yard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks.
Okay, got it. So we got to build a scrap yard. We'll just stick it here. Good. Yeah, good. And then we have to assign one person to scrap collector. Saving the game. Hoburg, welcome. Yeah, homeless settlers. Can we be building? Set this to build next. Housing. Am I allowed to build things? No. Okay. Community, campfire, pub, medical facility, school, cemetery, forum. Oh, we get some government into this.
Great. You can change the working area for the scrapyard too. We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. We'll do that shortly, but for now we ought to take care of your settlers' needs first.
Got it.
Our people want a place to sleep and live. Cabins fulfill their need for safety and privacy and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean.
Oh, this Arthur. Okay, build houses. They only house 2 adults, so we actually need a lot of these. So if I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Yeah, we're gonna have 17, 18, 19. Yeah, gonna go to 9. It's a nice big chunk of houses right there. Right, that should house everyone. We're actually still gonna be 1 short. We're gonna have 19. Wow. This requires 15 scrap, 8 wood. Yeah, easy enough. Fairbuy, thank you so much. 28 months, look at that. All right. Oh, we're supposed to build 8. I'm building 1 extra, okay. Yeah, it's 1 extra, but when these children, Edwidge and Harriso, grow up, one's gonna be homeless. These pumpkins, we are doing this in October. How long? Does it say? Planting is 100%. Soil moisture dry. It's a dry season.
Besides cabins, you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing. Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in houses gradually fill up the house's stockpiles. Settlers do not reproduce in a shelter because they lack privacy.
Right. This is a nice touch. The soil moisture dried up and the grass just dries up. That's nice. That's nice. The terrain changes. I always like nature simulations like that.
Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or refinery, scrap can be sorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart, 1 resource at a time, while a refinery automatically produces all 4 resources. To start off, you should build a recycler and produce cloth.
Okay, build a recycler to produce cloth from maybe over there. Okay. Recycler built. We have to set 1 person to a refiner and produce 4 cloth so that people can have clothes. Is this free to play? No. This is a paid game. And yes, it is post-apocalyptic. Still in early access though, right now at this point. Location attractiveness. The houses are worse than the scrapyard. Oh, it's really dry. My pumpkins. Did we harvest the pumpkins? Yes. Yes, we harvested the pumpkins. Okay. Okay. So they're not gonna die, I guess. All the trees go brown as well. It's really nice. That's a nice touch, right? The weather and climate changing like that. I like that. Yeah, the recycler is built. We're producing cloth now. Look at her go.
You can instruct your recycler to produce a different resource at a time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning. Cloth and metal look like good options if you want to equip us with protective clothing and tools. Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers, like radiation. So let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing. A tailor will be able to help us with that.
Ooh, a tailor's shop. Production, tailor's shop. Oh, it's big. We should keep it close to where the cloth is coming from. Right, get to building that. We can look at radiation. Oh, they cleaned up all this radiation. Just a little bit back here, behind the tailor. Just a little bit radioactive. Assign someone to be a tailor. We still have... Okay, those kids grew up. We've got 19 adults now. So we've still got 6 spare. Next scarf produced 1. We have to produce a scarf. There's also 1 person homeless. Can I just build another? So shelter is yeah. Shelters house how many? Oh, it needs fabric, I think. But it can hold 25 people. Okay. We do need 1 more house. But build the tailor first. Okay, okay. This is so far pretty solid. Right? It's pretty solid, right? Visually. Sound. Voice acting. Like there's a lot of detail on the buildings. I'm waiting for it to rain again though. I'm waiting for it to rain again. What's this icon mean? Production limit. Oh, it's hit its production limit. This as well, I guess.
We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels. No radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain. Protective clothing helps to protect us against this kind of radiation, but it takes a while before it's produced. And production relies on a steady flow of incoming resources. Try to establish production chains at an early stage and start to stockpile goods so that some are always on hand.
Understood.
The tools we brought along from the Endzone are slowly but surely running out. So now, let's focus on manufacturing new tools. The tools will help us to work effectively. We'll need metal for that, so we'll prepare for production by building another recycler, which we'll commission to recover metal from scrap. After that, we'll need a workshop to enable the manufacturing of brand new tools.
Okay, so we need another recycler. This one for metal. Rather, I set that on metal. This one can be default onto plastic, and then we just need a workshop which we can have here, all nice and together. Build this next. So we get the workshop down first. This will just start producing cloth. Because we're already producing metal by switching this over. Great. Workshop built, and then we need to assign someone to be a technician. And then we tell the workshop to produce metal tools. Oh, builder mode. Build, repair? Build and repair? Okay. Ah, look, the grass is back. The grass is back. And we're growing pumpkins again. Fantastic. Now, how long are the pumpkins lasting? Are they out already? No, we still have 149. We've got lots. We've got 3 types of food. Fish, pumpkins, beans. That's an okay diet, right? Oh, right. We need to assign one more person to refiner. We've only got 4 spare settlers now. Cloth, metal. What are these lines? Oh, it's showing where the person is, I think. Okay, so we're now producing metal tools. I was on scrap tools just now. So scrap tools just take scrap and wood, whereas metal tools take scrap, metal, and wood. More advanced tools. Higher durability in order to perform work tasks. Okay. However, UI issue. That font is very small and very hard to read. It's a very compact font. Could do with a bit more kerning. Could do with a bit more kerning. Okay. We need to produce just 2? Just 2. Okay. Or, you know, preferably font options in the options menu. That would be good. Font size, if possible. Or you like switching to open type, which there's some fonts designed for dyslexia. That's a good one to have. Oh, metal tools take a while, huh? Look at this progress. Let's have a closer look at this. Oh, it's a straight up blacksmith. Okay. Pumpkins, looking good. I'm calling them pumpkins. They're technically squashes. Not like me to care about the well-being of my slaves in general. Hey, you got pumpkins and fish.
With our
What
lovely
more?
new tools, we are now prepared to work effectively. Should you ever run out of metal, keep in mind that you can also instruct your workshop to manufacture tools from scrap instead of metal. Though they won't be quite as effective, it's still better than being forced to work with bare hands.
We have
Down in the
11
Endzone,
children.
we had sufficient time and resources to educate ourselves properly. But our children don't have this luxury. We ought to build a school and pass on what we've learned. As a result, they will be able to survive and work better and more effectively.
Build a school. Construction is at community, school. Should be near the houses, right? You know, yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna... Should actually be like along here. Right, at the end of the block. Build that. Alright, we're gonna educate all these new children. Camilla, Thomas, Xavier, Salome, Gracie, Robin. We gotta educate the children. Go on, Judy. Get that building. I think there's some trees in the way. Yeah. How's that ground moisture? So it slowly dries up, you see that? Why is water increasing here? House ruin. Bunch of scraps. You can salvage all of these buildings. General store. Oh. Oh, my pumpkins. Okay. It's fine. It's not too dry yet. Oh, it's raining now. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Oh, right. We gotta assign someone to be a teacher.
Perfect. Besides the fact that educated children work more effectively, we'll also teach them to be more careful with their protective clothing and tools. This, in turn, leads to them staying intact longer, and we conserve valuable resources.
Ah. Understood.
Now that our population is starting to grow, we ought to again turn our attention to the topic of food production. We are already accumulating fish and tilling our fields. A gatherer's cabin will now enable us to gather mushrooms and berries from the forest nearby.
Gatherers. Food, gatherer's cabin. Guess over here is good. Right? Make sure that's being built. We can gather food from this forest right here. Also, we gotta say, put a gatherer down too. Oh, we're getting so many adults now. This school, are you kids learning? We gotta keep up on the housing. Sturdy houses? This holds more people, but requires plastics. I don't know if it'll let us build that stuff. Probably not, right? Let's just go ahead and put down 2 more houses.
Very good. As you can see, the gatherer's cabin is an effective possibility to get food quickly. But watch out. After a drought, it's going to take some time before the plants have regrown. As is the case with most buildings, here too, you can relocate the working area at any time.
Got it.
Although we are sufficiently supplied at the moment, our survival depends on diligent planning. If we can lay out a plan for an orchard, then we can start to plant fruit or nut trees that we can harvest after a few seasons.
Oh, it takes a few seasons to grow fruit and nut trees. How do I do that? Food, orchard. Like, how big does it need to be? We can make it a little bit bigger. All behind the bus here. Can we choose seeds? Seeds from fields chosen. We can do pears. Alright, pears are okay. I'm not a huge fan of pears. Assign settlers to be farmers. We need 1 more farmer.
The orchard has been laid out, and the trees are already beginning to grow. Similar to crops for farming, trees need some time until they are fully grown. But once they have grown, they can be harvested again and again until they have to be newly planted.
Understood.
Our gatherer's cabin gathers food from the surrounding forests. However, there are any number of other plants there which we can use as well. These plants can be gathered by an herbal hut. The herbs gathered there can be consumed by settlers to replenish their health.
Okay. Grow durians? Durians take like, what, 5-10 years before they start fruiting? It's not just a few seasons. Alright, herbal hut, or as he says, herbal hut. I guess near the gatherer, that makes sense, so just across. Right? gatherer, herbal hut. Those trees coming in. So we're gonna have squashes, pears, fish, berries from the wild. I don't know if we still have beans. Oh, we still have so many beans. Doesn't say what kind of beans, but we've got sources of protein, sources of fiber, sources of nutrients. We have 16 children and 28 adults, 29 adults. Population grows a lot, huh? The only way to stop the population from growing is if you don't house people, which can make people very unhappy, huh? I see the balancing act happening here. The stress. These survival city builders, you know, you see it most in something like They Are Billions. The whole point of the game is the stress and tension. Without that, it feels like nothing matters, right? You have to feel like you can die, you can lose. That feeling has to be there. What are these? Like white stags. Wow. That tension has to be there. So something has to be constantly driving you to that tension. And They Are Billions, the zombies are just coming at you, right? It's constant. You're like, where's that one zombie? It touches a house and that's it. Your whole city is destroyed, right? It's an extreme example. But if you take a survival city builder like Banished or whatever, you know, the winter season sort of pushes you towards that stress point sort of thing. And that's important. In Caesar 3, the stress point comes from military invasions, right? On maps where there's no military invasions, generally you just take your time.
We can equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out in our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. That's why we always ought to have enough herbs on hand.
Got it.
Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening. We will need a great deal of charcoal to accomplish this. The charcoal kiln will burn wood to produce charcoal.
I just realized he is actually slightly animated. Look at that, he's breathing. That's a nice little touch. Charcoal kiln, right? So this housing issue where our population just keeps growing, yeah, that's driving me towards the stress point. Let us build charcoal kiln. I guess it needs wood, right? So I should put it near this forester. Make sure that's built and assign someone to charcoal burner. Now that I'm getting the hang of the UI, it's actually becoming quite streamlined. It was very overwhelming at the start, where it just, you know, you load into the game and you basically see this, and it's like all that stuff at the top, all this stuff over here, the stuff in the corner, stuff in that corner. It's like, what's going on? There's so much stuff. But actually, it's pretty simple, right? Nothing's too confusing. And we've been going for like half an hour. So yeah, change field of work. Yeah, down this way, please. There we go. These pear trees. Moving along. Let's keep going. Build a shelter that people won't have kids. Yeah, I think it's not allowing us to build that. But it's this shelter here. Right? It holds 25 people and they don't have kids in there because there's no privacy. So you can do that. But I suppose that's, you know, putting people in the shelters will sort of will sort of control your population. But then this is a post-apocalyptic game, you know, this is tutorial right now, so there's gonna be disasters and stuff, right? Charcoal kiln is down. Can we rotate around? Oh, you can rotate around.
Great. We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only the water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability.
Okay.
It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our trusted cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water and provides workplaces for a lot more water carriers than our old cistern.
Oh. Upgrade the building. And it's just upgrading. Does it upgrade into a water tower? Yeah, it upgrade to water tower. Wood, scrap, plastic, coal. It makes sense using coal to filter. Coal does filter things, so that's good. If you're building like terrariums and stuff, you want to have coal to filter the water that flows through the soil. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's just way bigger. Got a banner and everything. So we have to assign one more to refiners. Is it not done? Active. Oh, we have to build another recycler. Hold on, I should. Amount of water filled per coal, 600. So it holds, it still has all the water from before. Okay. Is it, am I supposed to set this to active? I think so, right? And then I have to build a recycler. Build that next. And then I assign another refiner. Instruct a recycler to produce plastic. I'll set this to plastic. And that will be the new cloth one. And then assign 2 more to water carriers. Then we just have to build this. Okay, look at our little town. It's looking great. Bar, yeah, you like that?
Our new water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society. Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining charcoal to produce better protective clothing.
Okay, so we have to build the well. And keep it nearby, right? Assign settler to well keeper. Instruct the tailor's shop to produce activated carbon masks. Radiation suit, neck scarf. I see. So the well produces water slowly, and even during a drought, wells that are built too close together have negative impact on their respective efficiency. Right. I wonder if this drains water out of the ground. Like, is this going to negatively affect my squashes? Oh, look at our trees. The pear trees. Are we harvesting pears? Crop yield. Yeah. We got 6 types of food. Look at that. Guys, I'm feeding you. Can you believe it? I'm feeding you guys with 6 types of food. 5 directly from me. The beans, they were leftovers. All right, this is looking proper, right? It's looking like we've got something here. So this well just slowly fills up, I guess. Oh, it fills up, then they take it, then they put it in the
Good
cistern.
work. We are continuously taking steps towards being better and better equipped to be able to survive in this hostile environment. Filtered water is a precious asset, and later on we can even use it to irrigate our fields. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Understood.
Not only our water can become a hazard for our settlers due to radiation, our food can too. We ought to erect a decontamination post to prevent settlers from eating meals that are contaminated with radiation.
Decontamination Post. That would be under food, resources, housing, community, logistics. So this is to decontaminate food? Used in the storages of surrounding buildings to free food and other resources from contamination. So it should be from our storage to our water, right? So I should put it here, next to my pumpkins. So I'll decontaminate everything here. And I like how, yeah, I'm in love with the grass changing, because you don't have to look at, see, you don't have to look at the soil moisture. You can just see it. You can see where the grass is. Now that I've got something, just a matter of time before I start taxing. Don't think there's money in this game. And trade only comes in the next update, so there's no bartering yet. Trade is the next update. I think we just had the leadership update. Alright, so we have to assign someone to be a decontaminator.
Very good. The decontamination post is going to supply all buildings that stockpile food and are located in its working area in order to purify the food that has been affected by radiation.
Got it.
It's true. We should never forget that even when we optimally prepare and protect ourselves, we're still going to lose friends and members of our family time and again. We're going to mourn them, come what may. But if we're able to bury them in a cemetery, then we'll get over the pain and let them rest in peace.
All right. Killing my people. Now's my time to shine. I assume it's community cemetery. You want to build this like further out, right? Like behind these trees. It's big. Like, okay, does this have the Asian mindset or the Western mindset? Does anyone know? Because in the Asian mindset, living near cemeteries is really, really bad. But in the Western mindset, cemeteries are often considered to be almost like parks, sometimes boosting land value. What kind of game is this? Like, if I put them near the houses, are they gonna be like, yay, we love this cemetery? Or if I put them near the houses, are they gonna be like, no, this is horrible? Because there is a land value, location attractiveness. Is a cemetery good or bad for location attractiveness? I guess we'll find out. We'll put it here. Assign someone to be a mortician. Okay. Right, that's something that people don't really consider all that much, right? City skylines, when you build a graveyard, it makes the houses happy. I put the graveyard like way out of the city and it didn't have the positive effect it was supposed to have, right? So it's in a post-apocalyptic world, usually you like in Surviving the Aftermath, the cemetery is just like a mound, but this looks like a proper cemetery, right? It's gonna look like Graveyard Keeper or something. The old patch is Western style, so it's people like it. Maybe so they don't have to go so far to visit. Maybe, but like someone did tell me, especially in Europe, I think they sort of just consider them like parks. Right? Stroblem, cemeteries are like parks. In Finland, right. Whereas here in Malaysia, and I think in most of Asia, it's like it tanks the land value. People do not want to live. It's like living next to a sewage treatment plant. Like it's just No one wants to live near there. It makes houses cheap, though. Is this being built? Yeah, it's just a little far. Maybe I should assign more builders. We have so many spare adults. 8 builders from 3. In North America, it somewhat tanks the value too. People tend to go visit the dead more often here. There are no noisy neighbors in cemeteries. Most are pretty silent. Yeah, most of them, yeah. That occasional one that... There's a lot of war memorials are just part of a park. Yeah, war memorials, yeah. But like actual cemeteries? This tutorial needs to allow us to build a shelter. We have 22 unhappy people and 2 unhappy settlers.
Okay. The cemetery will help us to quickly get a hold on ourselves and focus on the tasks that lie ahead. It's not a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe we ought to distract ourselves to lighten up the mood.
Understood.
We can erect a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while.
Increase their confidence in a town center. So I want to upgrade our bus wreck. Alright, we're having a meeting. Everyone go to the bus wreck. Yeah, I would be demoralized too. We can't even have like a building to meet. How are we gonna survive this? Wait, is that... Oh, they send off lanterns? Okay. That's really nice. That's a nice touch. Okay. Okay. I like the cemetery now.
Very good. The new town center not only gives us more storage space, at the same time, it functions just like a campfire too. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while. Now that we have made efforts to ensure the spiritual well-being of our settlers, we ought to attend to their physical health as well. Our settlers can get sick from time to time. Settlers who have become infected with a disease can die from it if they're not treated. Settlers will go to a medical facility to have themselves treated and will be admitted there, provided that beds are still available. We ought to ensure our settlers' medical health care.
Sky lanterns kill turtles. Yeah, the wrong kinds. It's like releasing balloons. Don't release balloons. If they're just like paper and sticks with a candle in them, then they'll just biodegrade. Depends what you make them out of. Don't release balloons. Don't release balloons into the sky. You're just releasing a lot of plastic to land in random locations. Okay, our town center is still a bus wreck with a campfire outside and 3 benches and a chair. It's now called a mounted bus. Really? Okay. Medical facility. So that should be community medical facility. Oh, it's big. Should be maybe near the I don't know. I'll just pop it back here. It doesn't have to be all aligned and everything, but a big spot. Let's build that. Let's assign a medic, just 1, and then produce 5 medicine. That's the upgrade. They put down benches. Yeah. This is the upgrade. We have so many people. 45 adults? Really? The cemetery has a lot of fire, huh? Yo, Mang, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Appreciate it. Oh, this is done. Look at that. Look how... Oh, this is a... It's a complex, huh? Medic. Alright, remember, you're not allowed to use a red cross in video games. By the Geneva Convention. You're not allowed to do that. For a very good reason, actually. It's so you don't dilute people's image of the Red Cross. Because if you see something too much, it actually detracts from how striking it can be. So the Red Cross, I think it's the Geneva Convention, says you're not allowed to use a red cross in media. So they use green crosses in video games. That way, when you see the Red Cross, it strikes you more. Games with a red cross in them to represent health, specifically to represent health, technically are breaking the Geneva Convention. Halo, I think maybe it was Halo. There was a game. I don't think the Red Cross is gonna come for a video game and be all like, no, like we're gonna sue you. I don't think they will, but you're not supposed to. Not supposed to. Green cross is usually the mark for pharmacies. Yeah, that's why the green cross is more ubiquitously used. Fun fact. Fun fact. What about movies? Yeah, I think in movies, unless they are specifically depicting the Red Cross, I think. Actually, even in that situation, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works. Right? You see a Red Cross, I always think medical aid in any medium. Yeah. The reason why you think that is because people aren't allowed to use it for other things, right? If people could just use it for everything, they'll be like, here's my new alien faction. Their symbol is a red plus sign, right? Then people will start to see a red cross and then be like, oh, it's like that alien faction from that movie. So they don't allow that. Pretty sure the American Red Cross hold a trademark for the Red Cross. It might be trademarked, but I think it is also. I remember reading. I might be wrong. That it is actually part of the Geneva Convention. Because I remember there was an article a few months ago saying some game was technically breaking the Geneva Convention, and that sounds really serious. And it's like, how can a video game break the Geneva Convention? Makes no sense that you can't use a Red Cross to indicate something medical in a game then. Yeah, but it is a specific organization, that's why. Red Cross is
with this step,
specific.
We have ensured the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. Since more and more children are being born these days, we should start to plan for the long term.
Okay.
While cabins are a good way to get settlers to start a family, they only provide limited space. This can quickly lead to people having to live on the street. Allow me to suggest to you that cabins be provided only in a very targeted manner in order to control the population growth of your settlement. Nothing is worse than not having enough resources to provide for everyone. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide other inhabitants with a roof over their heads too.
I can see this turning into factions. I don't know if there's plans for factions in this game, but having houses and a shelter creates haves and have-nots. And I wouldn't mind if this game was like, the people living in the shelter, they're starting to feel like second-class citizens, and they're getting upset, right? I wouldn't mind if this game had factions. Housing, shelter. Finally, we can build this near the medical center. Right here. Bam. That houses 25 people. We currently have 21 homeless. It should go up to 25 homeless with the 4 children. Diego. What's wrong with Diego? His health is like not so great. Capucine, Romeo, and Heather all doing fine. All doing fine. Trademark or copyright? It's probably trademark. Copyright is just if I do a drawing, it's copyrighted. Trademark is you've gone and registered. But it's not as strong as the R. R is like properly registered. R is stronger than TM, just so you know. Copyright is just general. You've made something, it's yours. Faction sounds like Hunger Game World. Yeah, like I wouldn't mind. Like I wouldn't like this game. Like survival games should be about stress, right? We should be stressing. Oh, these animals are actually boar, sow, boar. They move in like little groups, I think. Has anyone died? Oh, 2 people have died. Settlers who died during the current year. Died most recently, none. We've got 2 graves. Okay, I hope they do actually update this so that the graves slowly appear as people die. I know it doesn't really matter, but I really want it to be like that. You love relaxing games, Vernon? Yeah. Relaxing games have their place as well. But relaxing games are not survival games. A relaxing survival game?
Very
Can
good.
you do that?
Remember that when children grow up, they're going to leave their parents' house and look around for a new place to live. It might happen that they don't find any home at all. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide all inhabitants with a roof over their heads.
Rewards 10 settlers? Why'd you give me
I've already
settlers?
pointed out to you that it could become very dangerous if we were to run out of food at some point. Since a lot of people are going to be living in the new shelter, we ought to provide them with access to food in their vicinity. A hunting lodge can look for wildlife in the surrounding area to bring a little meat to the menu.
Okay. I'm actually loving how comprehensive this tutorial is. There's a lot of early access games where they kind of leave the tutorial to the end of early access, or they don't really put a proper one in. Hunting lodge. Yeah, for you guys. Right? A lot of early access games or alphas and betas, they don't put a good comprehensive tutorial. And his voice is butter, yeah, right? It's so nice listening to him. It's time to build a hunting lodge. And it's like, ooh, I want to build a hunting lodge. I can't do that gravelly thing, but it's like, ah. It's like butter, but he's got that gravel, so it's like salted butter. It's like, use it in your baking. Secret ingredient, that guy's voice. What's his name? Arthur? He just speaks to the baking and it's like, ooh. When people die, they will release the lantern. Yeah, it says here, died in current year. Harry just died. So they release a lantern when someone dies. That's a nice little effect. So, if you want to fill the sky with lanterns, you know what to do. Let's get some Tangled going up in this. Just murder your entire population. Look how pretty it is. Okay, are we actually? Oh, we're out of wood. I did not realize we're so low on wood. Oh, so we have to assign a hunter. Perhaps we should build another forester. Another forester's lodge. Right back here. We should build this next. We're also out of scrap. Oh, we're out of scrap. Go get all of this scrap. So what I should do is go here. Forester. And then scrap collector. Let's take off these builders. Let's max forester and scrap collector. Perhaps we don't need to build another one. We just need to max this out, right? I have 10 builders. Are we short on anything else? Water is fine. Food is maxed. We have 6 types of food, 7 coming in. Scrap, wood, scrap, tools, radiation protection, medication, cloth, metal, plastic, electronics, coal. Coal is fine. Tools is really low. So what we want... Who works in the workshop? Technician, is it? Yeah. We can start boosting our tools. Metal, plastic, cloth. Okay. Scrapyard. I didn't realize we just straight up ran out of resources. that should get things going. Then we can make sure we're focusing on this. Needs a bit more wood, which should be coming in. There's now 4 people, so we should be getting 4 times more wood from this, right? I should also just tell these guys to go gather more wood. And this, I can get rid of the gather scrap. A bit dramatic to remove a banner. Just sinks into the ground. Okay. So have the idle citizens just go chop down trees to help with the forester, because yeah, we're short on wood most of all. Water supply, it is full. The well, yeah. So I don't know if the well is having a negative effect on our soil moisture. Okay, this is now done. So we should set the field of work to be just down this way, I guess. Go hunt. There's some stags and does, boars and sows. This is a bit weird though. The field of work, you set an area where they can work, but the animals just walk around and leave. So if all the animals leave and you don't notice, your hunting stops. Roe venison produced, wild boar meat produced. So we should be able to just boost up hunters to speed this along. There we go, wood's going back up. Very nice. 54 adults. 1 child, 7 homeless. Perhaps I should build another shelter. Upgraded shelter. Maximum number of inhabitants, 50. Oh. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. So far, the biggest difference between this and surviving the aftermath seems to be the world map. Right? There's no build the gate to open access to the outside world. Right? That's the main difference from what I can tell. For the most part, it's still, you know, fishing, planting, crops, medicine, cemeteries, chop down the trees, collect the scrap, radiation. The water table, I like this a lot. Graphically, I would rank them kind of similarly. Surviving the Aftermath got a graphical update recently. But yeah, the world map, building the gate, and like this map is just a fixed map,
Perfect.
right?
The hunting lodge equally provides us directly with food, but it functions somewhat irregularly because it relies on wildlife in the surrounding area. Nevertheless, it can be indispensable during a drought because even the deer and wild boar still roam around the forest.
Why are these trees falling down? You see these trees falling over? Is it to do with water levels? Oh, there's a ruined train station. Okay. Hunting is irregular. Yeah.
With our increased production, our stockpile is going to run out soon. The supply routes for our production buildings are getting longer and longer too. To tackle these problems, you ought to build a temporary storeroom and have roads laid out.
Okay. Storeroom and roads. What happened to humanity in this game? According to the intro, basically they ruined the environment. Right? They ruined the environment. That's what we could tell. So we have to build a temporary storeroom. Logistics. A little awkwardly sized. I guess I'll pop it back here behind our orchard. like that. And then roads. Dirt roads, paved roads. Must be unlocked through research. Oh, right, we haven't done any research. Let's lay out all these roads. Okay. Connect that up. Okay, we have to get to the storeroom for sure. Okay, go around the water tower. Up to fishing. Up to the cemetery. Good. Ah, that looks nice. It says we've done 13, 14. Do builders do the roads?
Good. Temporary storerooms increase your settlement's general storage capacity. Place them in a targeted manner in order to shorten the routes for goods between your production buildings. Roads are equally a great benefit because settlers moving on roads can go distinctly faster than on a normal supporting surface. To improve the whole thing even further, we can build a market to improve logistics at the settlement. Besides being an enormous stockpile for resources that is even able to store water, the market is responsible for distributing resources within your settlement. What's more,
Oh, thought it was done. It'll improve their confidence. Market. It's huge. Okay, how does this work? Is it like Anno? Do we have to like cover all of our houses? I was not planning for a giant market. I guess we'll just stick it over here in this corner. Right. Yeah, okay. Market's gonna go there. Build that next and assign 2 people to logisticians. We have 10 builders. Yeah. Okay. They'll slowly get the roads done. Ah, that's an ugly road though, isn't it? It's such an ugly road. This can go up to here, go up to there. All right. Clear building area, wood, scrap, metal, plastic, cloth. It takes a lot. These roads are so hideous. The paved road looks like it'll be much nicer, but we gotta research. How do you do research? That must be expedition station. Oh, maybe there is a world map. I don't know. Weather station, research station, expedition station. An expedition station sends out explorers to collect resources and special objects at locations on the map. Okay. Does it mean this map? Or like a world map? Because I would say that if this doesn't have the world map, I would say that is the key difference between Endzone and surviving the aftermath. Because the main reason why I'm playing this game today is to sort of just figure out what's the difference. Like when people ask, which one should I play?
Logisticians are able to amass resources from the whole settlement and bring them to the market. This improves the flow of your products and leads to your settlers having to walk shorter distances to fulfill their individual needs. The combination of these attributes makes the market the ideal building when you want to enlarge or even relocate your settlement.
Okay.
Since we have our logistics under control, now we can concern ourselves with the weather and its challenges. We can build a weather station to enable us to make a forecast regarding upcoming weather and learn if potentially contaminated rain might be coming our way. It can also be used to prepare our crops and rainwater collectors we might have against contaminated rain by covering them.
Okay. Weather station. So this is the first science that... It's huge! These things are so big. Alright, weather station by the cemetery, I guess. I'll just pop it like here. This... Yeah, I'll just put it here. Okay, we're building this next. And extending this road. Okay. A ton of resources as well. Though, looks like we've got enough of everything, right? Water, food, wood, scrap, tools, radiation protection, medication, cloth, metal, plastic. No electronics. Coal. Alright. The roads are almost done as well. Do they stick to the roads? Yeah, they do actually use the roads. Not all the time. Oh, there's no road here yet. Okay. Yeah, they do move faster on the roads. Look at that. That's nice. When you build a road with just a shovel, you know it's not a very good road. They just kind of dig out the road. Oh, you can only have four workers building this, so spamming up builders, but there's no spare settlers, doesn't help, really. Are we getting a surplus of anything? Yeah, kind of everything, because we're actually a little short. Oh, we've only got 46 adults. People have been dying. People have been dying. Let's go down to 6 builders, and our teacher died, I think.
Very good. Now that we know what sort of weather awaits us and how we can protect ourselves against contaminated rain by covering our crops and rainwater collectors, we ought to attend to collecting the rain we want.
Got it.
Rain not only humidifies the soil, it can also be automatically collected via rainwater collectors to generate a steady flow of additional water. Since we've already built our weather station, we're able to decide what kind of circumstances would make us want to cover our rain collectors.
Okay, so we want to make sure rainwater collectors are closed when... Set the rain contamination level at which the respective buildings are supposed to be covered to protect them. So rainwater collectors, if contamination level is high, don't collect. Fields, if high, don't collect. I guess that's fine. A little bit of contamination is okay. And we just build a rainwater collector near the rest of our water stuff. Like there. It's a big one. Build next. I think all the roads are done. Yeah, all the roads are done. So our population's dropped a little bit. Perhaps I should go ahead and build a couple extra houses. Like behind the market. 1, 2. Let's get 3 more houses down. Because since assigning all of the extra workers, I actually kind of ran low on things. These barrel fires are everywhere. You know, considering this was an early access game, I was not expecting there to be so much stuff.
Never forget that our settlers might get sick if we distribute water contaminated with radiation at our settlement, even if they're wearing protective clothing. We should make sure that the collected water is as purified as possible.
Okay.
We can have our crops covered to shield our seedlings against radiation. But once they've been covered, naturally they won't be irrigated with rain anymore. To rectify this problem, we can build an irrigation plant that is able to artificially regulate soil humidification. Place this building with care, because it is only going to irrigate the soil within its impact radius.
Let's do it. We've got some crops to irrigate. Build an irrigation plant. Is it water? How big is it? Oh, it's small. Okay. So we can just pop the irrigation plant here. Leave a gap for a road, maybe. And that should keep our crops and pears. The pumpkins and pears should be kept okay. Good. We need to assign an irrigator. Oh, we're out of people. I think I dropped scrap collector. Drop a forester. Okay. Hopefully we don't run out of resources. So this should get covered if the contamination's too high, automatically from this.
Fabulous. As long as our irrigation plant is supplied with filtered water, it is able to neutralize a possible contamination of the soil due to radiation. But watch out. When water contaminated with radiation is fed into the system, this can lead to precisely the opposite. And the irrigation plant itself may possibly cause radioactive pollution of its surrounding area.
Got it.
Alongside contaminated rain, there are other environmental hazards, such as sandstorms or droughts. The soil dries out during a drought, and sandstorms sweep across the landscape from time to time. These sandstorms can damage your buildings and ultimately make them unfit for use. We ought to prepare for this and assign several more builders to enable potential damage to be repaired.
Okay.
You can decide which type of task your builders ought to give priority to at our town center. You can instruct them to merely repair buildings, to erect new buildings, or do both at the same time. This enables you to react quickly in crisis situations, for instance, in the event of a sandstorm, and to quickly attend to having damaged buildings repaired. Now that we've taken care of all the necessary needs of our settlement, such as food, water, protective clothing, and tools, our next efforts ought to focus on increasing the settlement's overall productivity. A research station allows us to develop different technologies. One step in moving our settlement ahead is to make it possible for our refiners to acquire electronics from scrap. We should perform research on the appropriate technology to achieve this and instruct one of our refiners to produce electronics.
Understood. We're going into research. Also, you can see it's keeping our crops wet. I seem to be enjoying this game. It's a lot more than I thought it would be, right? Like, I know they've gone through early access through this year with updates and stuff, but this is feeling kind of like if you can go an hour in an early access game and still be discovering new content, that's already pretty good. Now going 5 hours or 10 hours, that's a little bit rarer because a lot of games are just 5 to 10 hours long. But we've been going for an hour and a half and we're still like getting through the tutorial, uncovering new content. Like we're just hitting natural disasters. Is this mist from our irrigation? Is that kind of a mist? Or is it like humidity? Is it because it's a drought right now? So it's sucking up all the water? Oh, okay. Nothing seems to be too damaging, so let us go to technology, research station. It's also big. Let's pop it right here. We'll also extend the dirt road a little bit down this way. And set this to build next. We should have plenty of resources for it, yeah. Tools. So, oh, it needs 12 metal tools just to go into building that, right? That's expensive, but okay. They left a squash in the corner. Okay. Inventory. We have 1,000 fish. We still have 400 beans, 640 berries, 150 herbs, 200 pears, 150 wild boar meat. We have 8 types of food. It looks like 9 types of food is the max. Food. Okay, this is our warehouse. That's the markets are also holding things, right? So how is the market performing? Mushrooms? Is that from gathering? I didn't see mushrooms. I guess we sometimes pick mushrooms and it goes to the market. Oh, we need to assign someone. Oh, we're just out of people now. Yes, we drop the scrap collector, put on a researcher. I built 3 more houses, which should boost our population a little bit. Look at this icon for a child. Oh, okay, this drought looking pretty extreme, yes. Struggling to keep this grass going. Oh, it's dry. Oncoming sandstorm. Slows your settlers down, redistributes radiation. Oh. Okay. Just one burst of sand. The whole lake has dried out. Oh, we need 3 researchers? We're actually out of people. I think a bunch of people died. We've only got 39 adults left. Oh, the forest has died. Okay, fine. We need 3 researchers. And we have to build a recycler to produce electronics. Oh, look at the lanterns! Okay, well that's what happens. We just... Okay, now things are starting to feel a little stressful. Because we're just out of people. We can't grow pumpkins. We don't have... Okay. I guess maybe we drop a couple builders. We need to put someone onto farming. I think this was maybe closed off. Okay. Is everything else still working? Okay, so we also need to build another recycler. Let's have it right here. This will be set. We need one to produce electronics. Instruct a recycler to produce electronics. It's the correct thing, right? How do I produce electronics? I have to assign one more person to... Right, drop. Oh no, we got some new adults. Okay, we need another refiner. Okay, then go back into scrap collecting and foresting. We don't have any spare settlers here, but okay. How do I instruct a recycler to produce electronics? Do we not have enough? Oh, we're out of scrap. Okay. We've got so many children. Oh, all of our buildings are damaged. Get into repair mode. Builders, start repairing things. This research station was constructed. We can open the research window to have a look at the tech tree. Research speed 2 seasons. Food, kitchen, housing, sturdy house. Scrap catcher, hemp weaving mill, refinery, mining iodine, coal mining, warehouse, paved roads, burial ban. Knowledge transfer. All uneducated adults are educated. This decree consumes 2 knowledge accumulated at the research station. So we accumulate knowledge, then spend it. Oh, we have to research electronics. That's... Okay. Electronics. That's why. Start research. That's fine. Understood. Okay. Yeah. Everyone should be just repairing buildings. The school is damaged. These houses are damaged. 38 adults. Okay. We don't have a tailor. Okay. This is where things get hard. We've basically built a bunch. And we can't support it. Drop a water carrier in favor of a tailor. Alright, some groundwater seems to be returning. It's not pure red anymore. You can see, like, hatches of short grass coming back. Alright, we have 20 children. Bennett, Deborah, Eva, Bruno, Francesco, Samantha. Does this game come with Twitch integration? I hope they add Twitch integration so I can just have all of you guys in. So we can have Gamer by Design, Fair by, Sejuk, Johnny5, Vernon, Van Whitman. And then you can join our colony and die in a drought. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, as things collapse, you really have to start prioritizing what you need. Right, like I just took off a water carrier. I don't know if we can, like if that's gonna be unsustainable for our water supply. Oh, so all these buildings are just constantly taking damage. We have 22 children. We need them all to grow up. Let's take off a refiner and add a builder. Because Because we can't keep up with this. Is research gonna... Oh, research needs scrap? Oh, so our scrap collectors are only 2 out of 5. So if I take off the researchers for now and set them to scrap collecting, because we can't do research anyway. Okay, it's raining. Finally. Medium contaminated rain. This building produces contaminated resources. I should probably just set these to medium, right? So only low contamination. Ah, look at this. Nature is healing. That helped. Set these guys to build and repair. 37 adults. We don't... Alright, we don't have researchers. That's fine. We just need lots of scrap. I keep forgetting. The field of work will be empty, right? What's the closest? Here? We'll eventually wipe the map of scrap. I'm not sure if there's a tech to work around that. Oh, look at that. You can actually see the lines of where they all are going to get the scrap. Nice. We have 40 adults now. 3 grew up. Let's put those 3 researchers back in because we do need 3 researchers. Actually, I should put them into builders. Because we need to build this refiner anyway. Okay, finally I think we can see another settler. Scrap collectors maxed. We're out of wood as well. We're gonna have to start refilling our foresters. So yeah, we couldn't repair things because I think it required scrap. The tutorial hit us with one mild disaster. And everything just sort of started falling apart. This game can be pretty brutal. This was not even like a disaster. It was like a flick on the wrist. And it's like... Oh. It got so challenging. It was like... Remember the sandstorm? It wasn't even like a big sandstorm. It was just sort of a... And it was gone. And it just killed like 12 people and that's it. Everything started falling apart. I asked for more stress. Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. 8 builders looks good. Let's return our 5th water carrier. So scrap collector and foresters now back to max occupation. We do need one more refiner. No one's working there, that's fine. Production limit of this resource has been reached. That's fine. Metal, plastic. Should I be limiting this more? No, I guess it's fine. It's limited at 100 already. Alright, scrap's all coming in. So now that we have scrap, we can actually start setting researchers. Let's reduce builders, put them onto researching so they can now go bring the 150 scrap it needs to research electronics. And then we can actually start producing electronics. Right? Good. Okay, see this covered? Oh no, it's not covered. It's just... Contamination medium right now. So yeah, it's not... This building produces contaminated resources. Well, we're not short on water, so I guess I set this to low, right? We don't need to be collecting rainwater if it's polluted at all. Okay, scrap is going into electronics research now. "26 children. I should have built these 3 houses sooner. Is there no UI pop-up to tell you there's nothing left to collect? I might just be missing it. Like, maybe something shows up on the building. I do want a bigger warning, though. You know, it straight up says... There we go, now this is covered. A bigger warning saying, the scrap collector has no scrap to collect. Because the forester replants, so it never has any issues. I put tasks, gather scrap. I'll just set this here. So if there's anyone idle, they'll just start collecting things. We have 3 idle settlers. Did we need to replace anyone? Let's get our 8 builders again, and we have 1 settler spare, which helps gather loose resources. Almost enough scrap to finish our electronics research. Okay, so the weather down here says medium contaminated rain, no rain, uncontaminated rain. So right now should be uncontaminated rain, right? Contamination low. If I set that to there, it opens up. Maybe that's okay. It doesn't say it's producing contaminated resources, but I'm not sure. Gamer by Design says, I was correct. The original Halo used red crosses for the health packs, but around 2006, after the release of Halo 2, the red cross took the position that the use of the red cross symbols in video games health kits is inappropriate, and the game developers ceased using them. Ah, right, so it was in Halo. The original Halo. I feel like not enough stuff is going into the market. We have 4 people spare. Let's add in a couple extra logisticians. Is this research done? Oh, it only just got all the resources, so it's got to go through all of this. No workforce available. This is for the refiner, right? Oh, this hit the production limit. Oh, I guess animals just sort of hang around here. Yeah, maybe I have too many people on food collecting, because we have max food. We have max water as well. Okay. So there's another drought coming. We actually have 1 homeless person now. Ah, population's back up. 55. Electronics, 3/4 done. Okay. We have some homeless people, so they'll probably die if I don't give them a shelter, right? Can I put a shelter over here? Build a shelter there. Have this dirt road connect over. Okay. Now, that research is done. Knowledge is being generated. You know, I want paved roads. It'll take wood and scrap 300 each. Okay, but I have to set this to electronics and then set this to one more refiner.
Very good. With this new research station and the ability to acquire electronics from scrap, we can provide our settlement with all the materials we need. The research station is very useful in enabling us to adapt ourselves to our surroundings by using the right technologies in any situation.
Ugh.
Down in the Endzone, we dealt with the concept of a solar collector. This solar collector is able to collect sunlight and convert it into electricity. We wanted to try out whether our idea works and build a solar collector.
Let's do it. Oh, that task took a while, huh? Build a solar collector. Electricity, solar collector. It's big. Maybe I just stick it out here. It's sort of awkwardly shaped. Build a solar collector behind the cemetery. Sure. Build this next. So this requires 20 electronics. I don't know if roads will be upgradable. The entrance of the solar collector just goes straight into the cemetery. Okay. Need scrap. Oh, we're low on scrap again. Is this... Oof. We go through scrap so quickly. We have 10 spare settlers. I did build this extra shelter, so there's no homeless people. Guys... Is there no closer scrap? Okay. Go gather that scrap. Look at our town, though. It's like a proper thing. We have 61 adults with 8 children.
The solar collector produces energy by capturing sunlight and feeding this energy into a grid. The solar collector also gives us all the relevant information we need to keep an eye on our settlement's power consumption.
Those mirrors don't look very shiny.
Each of your buildings automatically hook up to this power grid when you set up an electric power pole within the building's range. Buildings supplied with electricity work distinctly, more effectively, and produce faster as a result. What's more, housing supplied with electricity increases the confidence of the settlers who use it.
Oh, okay. So we want to connect 5 buildings to the power grid and build 3 electric poles, open the view for electricity. How much is the power pole? Not kind of expensive. So I can hook that up. This is actually slightly too far. I'm gonna need 2. Like this. To connect the research station, and then I can just connect that. That should do it. Okay. Oh, we're out of wood. I think I should go ahead and build another forester's lodge. Forester. Double it. Scrap collector. Yeah, this question mark needs ruins. So that's the only indicator. That red question mark on top of the building. I don't think there's a notification. There's an oncoming drought. Okay. This is contaminated rain, so we're not collecting any of that. We've built all these power poles. Nice. Only wait, this only counts as 2 buildings connected to the power grid? Oh. It doesn't connect from building to building, does it? Okay. Electricity, power pole. So we need this connected there. And this connected like that. Okay. Builders are on repair duty. I think I did change it. Build and repair. Oh. Press F. Another lantern goes to the sky. Three spare settlers. Change that. Change field of work. That. Okay, so we've doubled our foresters. Only 4 buildings are connected to the power grid? There we go.
Fantastic. I can only picture how our ancestors must have felt with their almost infinite supply of energy. However, you ought to constantly keep an eye on your power consumption to avoid outages.
Got it.
Logically, the solar collector is only able to produce energy during the daytime. It would be beneficial if we could also make electricity available at night so that our settlement remains effective. It's clear that we currently work slower at night, so let's try to store the surplus energy we produce during the daytime to enable it to be used at night.
Time to build batteries. Okay, electricity, battery. It's literally like a D battery. I guess I just stick it here, right? Hooked up to the power supply. Oh, it produces radiation? Oh well, these people are already dead. It's fine. Right? People in the cemetery aren't gonna complain. This wild boar meat just left on the ground. Oh no, is it because there is just radiation here? Okay, no, it doesn't produce radiation. This area is just irradiated. Okay. Is there a task for clearing radiation? Yes. It's not accessible in the tutorial, but okay. Got all that scrap. You can get that scrap. What is this moisture? Sometimes moisture just sort of travels through the landscape. It's not rain. Okay. Wow, you go through a lot of scrap. Hey, we almost researched paved roads. Great. Not sure if I should be building paved roads, though. Maybe just on the long stretches. Like this.
That looks good. Some buildings are now connected to the power grid. Although a well-structured settlement that's hooked up to the power grid consumes a certain amount of resources, it is enormously effective. Oh, and just as an aside, you can have electric power poles put up on many surfaces, even on roads.
You can put electric power poles on roads?
With the settlement producing on a stable scale, we can now focus on exploring our surroundings. Though we heard a bunch of stories in the Endzone, now we can explore the ruins our ancestors left behind firsthand to find treasure and resources. Let's build an expedition station.
Let's do it. Okay, these stone paved roads looks much better. Way better. Look at this. Look at these roads. Oh, they build so quickly. Yeah, I think I can just do it everywhere. But first, let us go to... Oh, look at these decorations. Wind chimes. Flower beds. Ah. Expedition station. Stick it there. Build this next. Also, we're gonna need to set... Oh, we're out of people. I should just build some houses, right? Housing, cabin. I should squeeze in another 3. Okay, that will slowly boost our population. Oh, we lost our fisher. Okay, let's return the fisher. We lost 2 water carriers. Okay, let's drop 2 foresters. Let's put in the 2 scouts. Let's drop a researcher. Put it back into water carrier. You see our happiness? It's dropped a little bit. Food is still fine. Water's still fine. Make sure... Yeah, that's building next. Okay. I think we got enough resources. Oh, this is out. We gotta change this field of work to... Oh, there's a good amount. Get to work on that. We have lost our medic. Guess we take off the logistician, put it into medic. The market has 80 pears and 12 wild boar meat and 11 squashes. Okay. This is done. Expedition rations stored. They have to store food, I think. Hey. What are they getting? Do they do it automatically? I think they should, right?
Well done. Assign settlers to be scouts and prepare expedition rations. When you want to send off an expedition, you can decide the quantity of expedition rations with which to supply the expedition. As a result, you can control how long and how thoroughly it is able to explore a ruin.
Got it.
Let's send out a few scouts to find a ruin. The scout will visit the ruin you have designated and explore it. As a result, the scout will supply us with important information about the site that we should pay attention to when we start an expedition.
Okay, open expedition window. Interesting location. It shows on the map there. Let's do a... Yeah, let's check this nearby train station. Send scout. So they'll be going down here to this train station. Ongoing scouting missions 1. 21 locations on the map. Oh, so I can send 2. Right? Because I got 2 scouts. I have 0 explorers. Yeah, a lot of people died. We're down to 46. We had 60 people at one point. Okay, so no expeditions. Explorers are not... They can be assigned to be sent on expeditions. Okay, got it. What a shiny scrap pile. Okay, so we have to go discover the locations first, and then... It says waiting for free scouts. Ongoing scouting missions 2. Is it actually ongoing? Lucky Rajan, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I'm unsure. Here I need a bit more feedback. I don't know if the scouting missions are ongoing. There's now orange dots on the map. I assume that means... Is it actually happening? It does say I did send out the scouts. We have 20 children. Oh.
Our scout has returned and brought along a variety of useful information. Now that we know what we have to reckon with, we can put together a team in order to explore the ruin more precisely.
Understood.
Each ruin has its own challenges, secrets, and valuable resources. Choose settlers who fulfill the necessary prerequisites for the respective ruin, and give them enough expedition rations to take along. In addition, don't forget to equip them with protective clothing and tools to the best of your ability before you send them off.
Okay. Colonel Falco gifting out a sub, thank you so much. So now we have to send out an expedition, start an expedition. Prepare yourself for an expedition. Target reach. What direction should the expedition take next? This one. Here's one of your scouts, Chief. Remember those overgrown tracks I was supposed to inspect for you? Looks like they lead to an old train station, not too far away from our settlement. Pack up a few tools for the expedition team to take along. They'll give them a better chance to take apart the remnants. Otherwise, there's not much to see here. Although it seemed to me as if I'd heard voices coming from the caved-in stairs. It was just my imagination, for sure. It can get pretty darn spooky out here. Equipment recommendation, scrap all. Settler badges, explore badge. Okay. Configure expeditions. Oh, so we take them out of the hunter, a forester, herbalist, expedition ration, 61 in stock. food and water packages. Okay. Neck scarf, activated carbon mask, radiation suit, not available. Tools, scrap tool, metal tool. Okay. Is 6 rations? No, 18 rations enough? Should be. Start expedition. So now they're doing a thing at the train station.
Now that you've commissioned the expedition, it's now in preparation stage. Expedition rations and other necessary resources are being amassed. Afterwards, the settlers you selected will relinquish their old tasks, assemble, equip themselves, and subsequently set off together on their way. Get yourself ready to make tough decisions.
Ah, tough decisions. Love it.
Good news. Your expedition has finally reached its destination. Now it's all up to you. Contact them and listen to what they have to say to you. Make wise decisions and guide the settlers through the ruin with meticulous care.
Okay, let's do it. Your expedition has arrived at its destination. Have they not arrived at their destination? It says expedition is being prepared. Okay, maybe they haven't arrived at the destination. Oh, right. It says it hasn't. The voice line was a bit too soon. Wikipedia? Big thank you for video on Age of Empires 3. I was the only one on YouTube talking about it besides the marketing. I don't know why more people don't call out bugs in games. I know you love the game, but if you love the game, you want it to be better, right? I'm gonna call out the bugs I see until they're fixed. Why would I not? I'm not here to sell video games. If you want me to sell your video game, you should pay me. Explorers are being gathered. Okay, so we lost our technician. We need that refiner back. The water carrier. Is everything else still good? Yeah. Researcher, decontaminator. I don't need 3 hunters, do I? Researcher, teacher, herbalist, medic, mortician, logistician, scout. Okay, this is good. So 3 explorers are off. We have 31 children. Are any of them gonna grow up? Milan, Candice, Maximilian? I'm not here to sell games. You can sell me any game. I talk about games as I see them. Yeah, as I always say, gamer first, developers second, publishers last. Expedition is traveling. Select a group leader. Here they are. Okay, it's nice that it actually happens on the map, right? It's not like, oh, you have traveled to that location and it's just like a text pop-up sort of thing. So we're supposed to be making tough decisions. Your expedition has arrived at its destination. Target reached. Yeah, exactly like the scout said, there's not much to see here. Did people stand on this weird platform way back when to make it easier to get on the trains? If you could simply get on board and ride away nowadays. Oh, you could sing. Oh well, dream on. We'd be better off getting started with taking things apart, right, Chief? Progress. Take a look around first, loot and return. Take a look around. Like the scout said, not much. Guys, quiet down for a sec. I heard something coming from those stairs. It must have been my imagination. Merely some signs and a few benches. In other words, nothing notable. We'll take everything along that seems useful to us. Should be a piece of cake. Okay, maybe it was his imagination. Continue. I think we've taken all the recyclables with us. 15 scrap, 15 metal. At least there was a little metal too. With the tools that we had, that was no problem either. These birds. The option has already been completed. The stairs. Oh. That was the platform. This is the stairs. Okay, so we've actually got like points here. It sounds like stomping, but now everything's all quiet again. We've cleared away the debris here. Looks like another train station, only it's underground, with lots of empty tunnels and dark passageways. Wait a second. I think I heard something again. Should we go take a look? This whole thing with exploring dark and deserted places would be better off left to experienced explorers, but it's your call. Continue. Now, some footprints can be seen down here that lead in the direction of the tunnels, but we don't have the slightest idea how old they are. An old veteran would have been able to give us better information. It's terrifyingly quiet down here. We've called out in all directions, but in the end, the only reply we got was just our own echo. I know that ghosts don't exist, but this place is spooky. Remember our days in the Endzone. So the Endzone, as far as I can tell, was a vault? Like Fallout? Endzone is vault, if I'm assessing this correctly. They refer the days down in the Endzone. So I think this is a Fallout city builder. When people thought muffled screams could be heard in the generator room, maybe something's lying in wait for us down here. We ought to get out of here pronto. So if I brought an old veteran, we might have been able to find something. Can we take a look around? No, it's just those two. Loot and return. 15 scrap, 15 metal. Yeah. The bags are packed and we're ready. We'll see each other at the settlement. Safe trip home.
Well done. Your decisions during an expedition are decisive for its success. Try to be as well prepared as possible and make wise decisions because the consequences could be fatal. Now let's loot this place and get out of here. Take as many resources as your settlers can carry and bring them back to your settlement. Now that you know how you can help your settlers to manage in this environment so hostile to life, I'd like to show you how you can design your settlement in such a way so that your settlers are not only able to survive in it, they're actually glad to be here as well. Your settlers are eager to live in surroundings that please them. For instance, they'd rather not live next to a building that produces lots of noise or dirty grime. You can switch to the heat map of dwellings attractiveness to be able to see just how attractive the dwellings in your settlement are. In this view, you see which cabins and shelters have been placed in attractive surroundings and which ones are in unattractive surroundings. If you want to make your settlers particularly happy, you should pay attention to providing them with attractive surroundings.
Okay, so the cemetery has no effect.
To increase the attractiveness of a residential area, you can put up some decorations to beautify your settlement. Each decoration increases the attractiveness of the area where it has been placed. Maybe it's time for you to design your settlement a little more attractively to make your settlers happier.
Ah, this is it. Build 5 decorations, probably around the houses. Decorations, okay. Hedge. Oh, this is affected by the ground. Hedge, hedge. Flag? No, flag's too big. Scrap totem? It breathes fire. Shrub in the middle, sure. Flag. Yes. Flower beds. Okay, I'm gonna plant flower beds over in this grassy area so they actually look good. Ah, nice. Okay. Pioneer statue. Wind chimes. Oh, it's just some big wind chimes. Okay. Build all of those things. Oh, torches. I should throw down some... Okay, they just look like burning barrels, but... Torches can go over here. Okay. Look at these hedgerows, yes! Build all the things. Let's put 2 more builders in. Decorations. Flower beds. Nice. Just some orange flowers.
Your settlers are really going to like the newly built decorations. This way, you can even manage to design a residential area attractively that's located near industrial buildings. And with sufficient time and energy, even create a settlement where all your settlers are glad to live in it.
Oh, look at this wind chime.
Although living in a pretty neighborhood isn't the only thing that interests your settlers, they want you to take care of their other needs as well. If you provide them with a forum, they'll make their wishes and requests known to you. You can find out what means a lot to them there.
Building a forum. Now, okay, it's time to get into the end game, basically. Forum built right on the edge. See, I wasn't planning for all these buildings, so... Guess it's fine. I'll just stick it here. That's the hangout spot. Yeah, build this next. Paved road. That. With these paved roads, it should be done, like, you should be able to get that pretty quick. This looks more like a town hall than anything. Tax times? Time to tax our people. Oh, look at these banners. I hope they plan to allow us to customize these designs. Look at these fire pits. Okay, rain's coming in, so the flower beds all come alive. The hedges, great. It can actually look pretty nice, yeah. Okay. Hammer away. Get that forum built.
Excellent. Many of your settlers' requests are collected for you at the forum. You want to check every now and then whether you might be willing to agree to one of those wishes.
Got it.
However, the forum is not only responsible for enabling your settlers to turn to you. At the forum, you can address them too. You can issue decrees and establish rules at the forum, stating how your settlers need to behave. This way, for example, you can ration food and water, or go so far as to prohibit your settlers from reproducing in the near future.
Oh, so you can... That's how you do it. So you can tell them to stop having kids, and then you can give them nicer houses. Okay. Research in the area of logistics. Our researchers have come up with the idea to give a new technology a try. Design larger warehouses. So if I go to research and I want to research the warehouse. Rewards 10% happiness. I see. Decrees. Activate birth control. Open decree window. Banish elderly. Banish children. Banish children. So you can have kids, but you kick them out. Food rationing. Birth control. Motivation. Diligence. You can decree motivation. Alright guys. Everyone has to be happy. If you're not happy, cooldown, 3 seasons. The effects of a lasting decree has an ongoing impact on the settlement until its abatement period. The point in time when the decree is no longer in force has elapsed. Enact decree. Banish children, banish elderly. Only young adults and adults allowed to live here.
Many of the decrees are extremely helpful toward enabling the survival of your settlement, though you should watch out that you don't demand too much of your settlers. If you ask too much of them, it can lead to discontentment spreading throughout your settlement. That's why you always ought to use caution in deciding which decrees you want to impose.
Okay. If those are your instructions, Chief, then that's the way we'll stick to them, even though we're not particularly happy about them and would gladly decide for ourselves when we start our families. It would be better if you could see to it that we're able to continue to grow.
I think the time has come at last for me to bow out as mentor. I've taught you everything I know, and you've proven yourself by keeping us healthy and in good spirits. I may have taken care of heading our last days in the Endzone, but now all my faith lies with you. I believe that you are going to lead us to a glorious future.
Understood. Alright, as that sandstorm hits, the tutorial has ended. We have forbidden children. Well, forbidden having children, but look at our fire pits barrel things, and our wind chime, and our winged dragon thing, and the banners. This is nice. The whole environment's kind of. We finished the research in the area of logistics. Oh, it's requiring more wood. Okay, no problem. Do I have enough scientists? We have 26 spare settlers. It's max scientists, max foresters, max scrap collectors, add a gatherer. Settlers suffering from a disease. Oh, let's put in extra medics and herbalists. Couple extra builders. More logisticians. Great. We've assigned our people to do the things. Oh, I was not expecting there to be so much to the game. The tutorial took us 2.5 hours. And that's a lot of gameplay. That's a lot of gameplay. For something that's in early access. By the looks of things, they're looking for a 2021 release window. Can I just save this? But let's have a look. Let's have a look. There is no... I know the quit game menu quits the whole game. Is there no way to... Oh wait, it's right here. Oh, there's no main menu because this is the main menu. Huh. That's interesting. This is the main menu. Anyway, this is what they're currently working on. So what we've seen, expeditions, scenarios, I can have a quick look at those. Technology, radiation, a new civilization, building upgrades, more complex settler needs. Leadership, I think was just implemented, which is the decree system. Trade and barter is next, and oh, okay, it's question marks after that. So trade and barter is going to be next. So I assume they just... What's nice is the tutorial has caught up to the current content releases. You know, so like leadership was released, and that the leadership portion is in the tutorial. So that means they're updating the tutorial as the content gets added, which is very nice, which means the game is always fully tutorialized. That's why the tutorial was so comprehensive, right? We went through all of this. Expeditions wasn't the first thing, but we did technology, we did radiation, we did the civilization. Everything else was sort of basic stuff. And if I check new games and scenarios, there's The Bet. You've let yourself get talked into a daring wager with Arthur Sorchin, the salted butter voice. Your old friend and mentor. In the course of a cozy evening in the local pub, you've betted on who can get their hands on the most species of plants in the form of seeds from unexplored ruins. The long summer. Heat is your greatest enemy. Radiation and other dangers lurk in the background. Merciless periods of drought. Garden of Eden. In an environment so hostile, it is your responsibility to not only make sure that your settlers survive, design your settlements so settlers are eager to live here. Oh, we need, oh, look at that little graphics moving around. We need a GEC for this one. A New Hope. Achieve and provide for a small population. These are, I suppose, bronze, silver, gold medals. Connect all dwellings to a power grid. Reforest sufficient trees for a stable supply of wood. Desert flower. Survive the highly contaminated rain. Oh, so it just batters you with rain contamination. Collect all resources required for the third toll. Oh. Start up another settlement. Right. Rome wasn't built in a day. Survived 250 seasons. Right. And of course, survival mode. Outside of the tutorial, you can change all sorts of things. Number of mountains, lakes, forest, ruins, wildlife herds, free area around starting point, unlock all seeds. There's also rainwater contamination director, maximum rain contamination, drought director, sandstorm destruction, and number of settlers, consumable consumptions, equipment wear and tear, tools, number of resources at start, protective clothing, distance to water, diseases, side missions, research status level. So you can just start everything researched or legacy. Right. And there we go. That is Endzone, A World Apart. We've had a good look at it. I think you can decide for yourself whether this is something you're going to be into. But overall, it's pretty solid right now. Comparing to Surviving the Aftermath, there's a lot of similarities. Like, the changing environment here, the groundwater is sort of a difference. And then there's the world map in Surviving the Aftermath, which is almost more of a tactics RPG thing, right? As you sort of explore the world. So I suppose if you're more of a fan of a single region, banished style survival city building, then Endzone sort of leans more into that. Whereas if you're more of a, you know, like how Frostpunk has you exploring the world sort of thing, where you have your colony, but then you want to like be going out and doing things as well. That's more on the Surviving the Aftermath side. Both games are in early access. Both games, Surviving the Aftermath is coming to early access on Steam as well. It was an Epic Store exclusive, which is why I think why so many people went to Endzone, because it's on Steam. But they're both going to be on Steam now. Both going through early access. Both post-apocalyptic survival city builders with a derelict style. The choices to make. The choices to make. Which would you play? Which would you play? Endzone or Surviving the Aftermath? Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for joining. If you'd like to support the channel, please do check out Patreon, patreon.com/GamerZack. Direct support means we run fewer ads on YouTube, so thank you so much for the direct support, and everyone enjoy the fewer ads. If you would like to support in other ways, there's a Humble Bundle referral link where you can buy games and support the channel. Humble Bundle also does support charity. There's a gaming merch store where I design my own products, gamerzack.com/shop. Also check out the upcoming list videos. I spend a lot of time on those, and just watching those is a great way to support the channel. Just go to gamerzack.com/listhub and you get to see the whole experience. Join us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at GamerZack on all of those. I am active and contactable if you want to say hi. And do drop by the Discord, discord.gg/GamerZack. The Zackalites, we hang out there every day. Drop in and say hi. If you're watching on YouTube, click the buttons on the screen right now for so much more content. But until then, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bye, guys.